Hello. This is an SEO audit for Vaughn Law. They are a criminal defense attorney in Houston, Texas. This is their website, and this is their Google business profile. Okay, first thing that we always do is run a map ranking scan to see how often their law firm shows up in Google search. So I'm going to create a new scan, type in the name of their law firm, and set the radius to 2 miles. And then head over to the keyword section and use the keywords criminal defense attorney near me, DUI lawyer near me, and white collar crime lawyer near me. Select a one-time scan and run it. So while this is running, I'm also going to run a scan to see how many times their business name, address, and phone number show up in the Google search results. So I'm going to head over here, type in their business name, grab their business details, and then I'm going to exclude their own domain. Scroll down here, select 10 pages, and hit run. So the results from this scan we're going to be using for the second part of this audit. Let's go back to the map and see if it's finished. All right. Looks like the map is finished loading. So let's check it out. Couple things I want to outline first. So one of the main factors that determine how high your business ranks in Google Maps is where your law firm is physically located. So if you remember, we ran a scan for a 2-mile radius, which means the center of the business is right here. So the rankings are typically better the closer you are to the center of the business, and then once you zoom out, they get worse and worse and worse. And that's pretty much the situation that's happening here. So they have a couple pins in the top 10, right, position 5, 6, 7, 8, but then most of the pins are either not in the top 10 or Google doesn't associate their business profile with that keyword at all. And this is for the keyword criminal defense attorney near me. So let's take a look at the other keyword. So DUI lawyer near me, pretty much the same story here. They got a couple pins in the top 3. And then once you zoom out, they have a couple that are in the top 10, in the top 20. And then closer to the west side, Google doesn't associate their business profile with this keyword at all. Let's take a look at white collar crime. Okay, so they pretty much don't show up anywhere for this keyword either. Everything is past position 10, so not good at all. In order to get the most benefit out of your Google business profile, you want your law firm to rank in the top 3 results across your entire local area, so that once your rankings look something like this, then anybody looking for a criminal defense attorney in your area will call your business first. Let's go back to the scan. Another thing I like to take a look at is the demographics. So with this tool, I can see the population density, I can see the median income, I can see the percentage of homeowners, as well as the median age for each of these individual sections. And by the way, all of this data is taken directly from the Census Bureau. So if this law firm wants more DUI cases, then they probably want to allocate their marketing resources more towards the areas with the highest population density, which in this situation would be anywhere that has a dark red coloring. And they would also want to market towards people with a median age of between 25 to 35 and maybe under 25. So you can see that data here as well. Now, if this law firm wants to target more high-ticket cases, for example, embezzlement, wire fraud, healthcare fraud, any white-collar crime, then they could budget more of their marketing towards certain areas based on high median income or percentage of homeowners, because those are typically correlated. And then let's say this law firm specializes in something like domestic violence cases. Then they would probably want to target the median age between 26 to 45. Overall, this is a super useful tool. If you're in a law firm that spends any amount of money in marketing, then you need to make sure that you're targeting the right people. And this is perfect for that. By the way, if you want us to run this report as well as the next report that I'm going to go over for your law firm, first link in the description, fill out your business information, and we will make sure to help with that. But for the next section, we're going to go over some keyword and domain metrics. So this is what we use to generate the reports for keyword and domain metrics. All I need to do is enter their business information, and then it'll automatically fill out the rest. So I find the one in Houston, and then double check everything looks good. Now for the citations data section, this is the scan that we ran earlier for their name, address, and phone number. So I'm going to go ahead and upload that, and then not include schema for this business, and then generate report. And once that's done, I'll open it up. So this report tracks 150 search terms that are related to criminal defense in Houston. Combined, they get about 25,000 searches per month. The average cost per click across these terms is $72. And if this website was in position 1 in Google search for all of these terms, they would get about 17.6% of all the clicks, which is equivalent to about 4,300 clicks per month. And that's worth about $313,000 per month in Google ad spend. So let's take a look at section 1, which is the keyword data. So this table on the screen is sorted by traffic value, and that's calculated by taking the volume times cost per click and multiplying that by 17.6%. As you can see, the highest value search terms are DWI lawyer, DUI lawyer, and criminal defense lawyer. You can also filter by near me as well as by the name of the city, so Houston. Near me searches are usually the highest intent. They typically come from people that are on their phones and they're looking to contact a law firm right away. Now, if you wanted to see this data in a more visual format, that's what section 2 is. So the first chart shows the monthly search volume for each keyword. The top keywords are criminal defense lawyer, criminal defense attorney, criminal lawyer, criminal attorney, and then the 2 DUI keywords right here. And the second chart shows how the traffic value changes across websites ranking in position 1 through 10. So position 1 is worth about $313,000. Position 2 is worth about $274,000, and position 3 is worth about $269,000. Now, when you go to position 4, you can see that the traffic value drops by over half. So we go from 269,000 to 125,000, which is why the goal of local SEO is to rank your law firm in the top 3 spots of Google so you can capture the most leads for these search terms. Now let's take a look at what this law firm currently ranks for. So this website ranks for 110 keywords. 6 of those are in the top 10, 3 are in the top 3, and combined that's bringing them about 342 visitors to their website every month, which is equivalent to about $14,000 in ad spend per month. So this table is currently sorted by monthly searches. I'm going to sort it by position. So it looks like most of the keywords that they're ranking for are branded. They have a couple of money keywords that they're ranking for. So for example, Harris County criminal attorneys, Houston criminal defense lawyers, Harris County criminal lawyers, Houston criminal defense lawyer. So yeah, they have a couple of money keywords that are around the bottom of page 3 and the bottom of page 4. And that's decent because Google already associates their law firm with these services. All they need is a little bit more authority, and then they can break into the top 3 results. So that's what section 4 is going to be about. So citations are any mention on the internet of a business's name, address, or phone number. Some common examples include an Instagram profile, a Facebook page, Yelp listing, etc. So we found 54 citations across 10 unique domains. And it looks like about 20% of them come from social profiles, about 22% of them come from legal directories, 11% come from review platforms, and 46% are uncategorized. Now, if you scroll down to the second half of the report, you'll see that out of 186 citation sources that we recommend for law firms, this business is only listed on 5 of them, which means they have 181 opportunities to mention their business across different websites. So I would recommend at least getting listed on the high authority citations, which includes, Facebook business page, YouTube, Google Sites, Pinterest. Bottom line is having more consistent citations on relevant high authority websites will improve how often this law firm appears in Google search results. So from here, we can just move on to the backlink profile. So backlinks are links from other websites that point to this law firm's website. So we found 286 backlinks. They come from 46 unique referring domains. About 10% of these links are do follow, meaning that they actually pass authority to the website, which means a majority of the backlinks that they have don't really contribute a lot to their overall authority. Regardless of that, the most important factor to tell if a backlink is good or not for a local website is relevance. So this could mean websites that talk about drug possession, DUI, domestic violence, tax fraud, anything related to criminal law. This could also mean your local chamber of commerce, your local BNI, any local news blogs or any publication sites. Even a backlink from another local business is going to be beneficial for these guys. So anything that's industry specific or locally relevant is going to be the types of backlinks that move the needle the most when it comes to ranking local service businesses in Google. Now, under this section, we have a list of the individual backlinks that they have. There's not much to cover here since most of their backlinks are from directory websites. So to recap this section, there are about 25,000 monthly searches that are all related to criminal defense in Houston, and this traffic is worth about $313,000 per month in Google ad spend. Now, this law firm ranks for several keywords. A couple of them are on the bottom of page 3 and a few on the bottom of page 4. In order to bring them to the first page and eventually into the top 3 results, they need to build more high authority citations as well as more relevant backlinks. And in the last and final section, we are going to be taking a look at their website and seeing if there's anything that can be improved on there. All right. So this is the Google business profile for Vaughn Law, and they are linking to this website right here. So the first thing I'm going to check out is their SEO title. So their SEO title looks good. They have the location in there. They have criminal defense attorney, and they have their brand name. What I would do is also add the PLLC because you want to match you want to match whatever's on the Google business profile directly. So I would include that just to check that box. And then let's take a look at their headings. So their H1, they do have criminal defense firm in there, so that's good. And they have a H2 for practice areas. What they don't have are any H3s. So one thing I would recommend is for your practice area section, which is an H2, I would make all of these into H3 tags because one of the main optimization elements of a website are the headings and subheadings. So right now, these are not set up as subheadings. They're set up as, let me see what they're set up as. So right now they're set up as a paragraph text. So having these set up as paragraph elements signals to Google that they are less important than if you had them set up as a heading element. So I would go ahead and make all of these H3s and then keep it nested under the H2, which is your practice area. Another thing that I don't see is a Google business profile embed. So what I would do is maybe replace this address section with the code from here. So it'll look something like this. You want to make as many associations as you can between your website and your Google business profile so Google can easily understand exactly what it's looking at. Another recommendation that I would have is to build out specific neighborhood pages. Just because Houston is such a competitive location, you want to make your website as targeted as possible, which means I would build out neighborhood pages for Houston Heights, Greater Heights, Greater Fifth Ward, Northeast Houston, whatever neighborhoods that you service, however far out you're willing to go. Just build out those individual neighborhood pages to pick up some more rankings there. Because right now, this is where you're ranking for criminal defense attorney. And then this is where you're ranking for DUI. And then this is where you're ranking for white collar crime. And as we saw before on your organic rankings, so your website, you don't really rank for anything other than your brand name and the few money keywords that your website actually does rank for. You are on the bottom of page 3 and the bottom of page 4. So I would definitely recommend building out some of those specific location pages just to make your website a little bit more targeted. I would also recommend building out the citations that we talked about earlier, which are down here. Go to the missing ones and just build out all of these down to as far as you can go. And finally, I would recommend building some more relevant backlinks. So that could mean anything related to criminal defense or Houston, where you're located. So that's all I got for this audit for Vaughn Law PLLC. If you enjoyed this video and you want something similar for your law firm, click the first link in the description, fill out your business information, and we will get back to you with an audit that's tailored to your law firm. Other than that, hope you enjoyed the video, hope it was helpful, and take care.